more breaking news. This just in from CNN's investigative unit. An eerily similar crash into the same key bridge years ago is raising new questions about yesterday's deadly collapse. In that crash, a container ship also lost power and then crashed into one of the key bridge piers. Tom Foreman is out front with this new investigation. So, Tom, what more do we know about just how similar that crash was to what happened yesterday, and why, Tom, are investigators now taking this closer look at it?
We know enough to know that it is just creepy how similar they were. This is a Japanese freighter, also loaded, moving across Baltimore Harbor, also has electrical problems, also loses propulsion about 600 yards from the Key Bridge, and also rams into one of the piers of the bridge. The difference is it did not end in a catastrophe. Why? Well, here's one possible reason. It is much smaller. We've talked a great deal about how the Dolly is about 3 football fields in length. We talk about how it carries tens of thousands of tons of cargo, enormously huge. That Japanese freighter, which happened back in 1980, was probably about a third of the size of this ship. So when it struck, it didn't end in a catastrophe, but in every other way, Erica, it looked like the same accident.
It is remarkable, and as you point out, looking at how much those ships have grown in a relatively short period of time, how much bigger, how much more dangerous are all of those ships today?
Well, that is the key here. They don't have to necessarily be dangerous, but look at the change that has happened in this period of time. Back in the 1977, when the Key Bridge was put into use, the ones way up at the top there, those were the big ocean-going ships. Now, the one at the bottom, which can carry many, many, many more tons of weight, they're more powerful. They're harder to maneuver in the sense that they're bigger. All of that has come into play here. What hasn't come into play, according to many engineers, is any real step up in the protection of these bridges. When that ship hit back in 1980, it was partially stopped by these protective piers that were out there to stop it from hitting the bridge pier directly. Some of these are called dolphins, some of them are called fenders. There are all sorts of different names for them. But the bottom line is, many of them were designed, according to engineers, to stop these smaller ships. They were not designed to stop these monster ships that are out there now, and yet many of them have not been upgraded. So that's why engineers are looking at that old accident and saying, look, is there a lesson here? Did we have a chance to learn this lesson? And how many more times does this have to happen before we learn the lesson for real?
Yeah, Tom, it is important context, and I appreciate it, my friend. Thank you.